I'm just realizing I have such a huge fucking gap between my first note and my second note.
Oh, in
And,
terms of
all
like
of a sudden
story.
I have like all the notes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because nothing happens in this next episode. Next episode is episode 94.
The Joy of Pokémon.
You get it because it's about
A Nurse
Nurse
Joy.
Joy.
So.
What a generic title.
Yeah.
Even in terms of like a pun on the fact that the nurse's name is Joy, is still a generic
The
title.
only way I would have accepted this title as like a good title is if we saw like a Joy who's been raised by Pokemon. So she is literally the Joy of Pokemon.
That would have been great. That would have been great. All right, so they're just riding at Lapras.
And then someone in a fucking fast-ass rowboat swoops by them.
Yep. And Tracy's like, that was a Nurse Joy.
No, it wasn't, Tracy. Shut up.
No, it really was. No, Tracy, you have to be wrong. Blah.
Because Nurse Joy is too weak to do that.
So we spend the next, 4 minutes of the show trying to figure out who is rowing past them, only to discover, it was a Nurse Joy.
Because the audience clearly saw that it was Nurse Joy.
Yeah. That was a dumb decision to make that reveal happen while they're rowing if they're going to spend so much time trying to figure out if it was a Nurse Joy.
At least for when we see Nurse Joy, just do a single cap or something.
Yeah.
And maybe hint at that it might not be a Nurse Joy.
Yeah, something. But when you show us it's Nurse Joy, the next 4 minutes are a waste of time. Because then it's just Tracy trying to carry the episode with his lilt in his voice like this. And this Nurse Joy was buffer than any Nurse Joy I've ever seen.
By 1 centimeter in her shoulder width.
And 2 centimeters
by
in
her
arm width. Okay, first of all, how the fuck could you tell that by looking at her that's fast going by?
No, Tracy. No.
Second of all, you think a Rhyhorn is 1 meter tall by 3 meters long, so I don't trust
by
anything
8
you
meters
say.
long.
8 meters long. That was it. 8 meters long. So I don't trust anything you say when it comes to centimeters and meters.
The only thing he's correct about meter-wise is maybe the Magikarp.
Yeah. This is stupid because he says this Magikarp is really big. It's 3 meters long. That's almost 10 feet.
It's over 10 feet if you're doing 3 meters.
Also, if you're going to measure something in meters, why are you going to tell us the footage?
You're already being elite. Just use the meters and be done with it.
Are you trying to prove that? Yes, I do know how much a meter is. I know what I said before was stupid with the Rhyhorn, but I know how much a meter is.
Please forgive me.
And 2 centimeters, that's that much. How can you tell that her arm is that much bigger than any other Nurse Joy's arm? That's so little.
I like how you show me how much 2 centimeters is when we're on a auditory medium.
Is 2 centimeters less than an inch? I think it's less.
Way less. A centimeter is fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a millimeter. But it's still, a centimeter is also
It's not
less
much. It is so
It's less than an inch.
It's less than an inch. So how can you tell that? And her shoulders are a centimeter longer than any other Nurse Joy's? How can you tell that by looking at her?
Especially not from that fucking, when she's only in front of you for, 1 second.
Hardly that. You barely got a glimpse of her. You had to convince everyone else that it was a Nurse Joy. Come on.
You're not that good of a Pokemon watcher, Tracy. You wouldn't be doing this if you were.
Plus, I think this is a really sexist moment. This Nurse Joy is actually super, super strong. Superhuman strong. She's able to lift up that Magikarp, which is a giant fucking Magikarp, over her head and row faster than any human has ever rode before. But they still draw her skinny and sexy. I find that very sexist. Well, make her look buff.
How many buff dudes are there other than the fucking Hulk of Lieutenant Surge?
And Bruno.
Okay, but those are Hulks. How many other dudes are there?
But she's also a Hulk. But the only difference in her design from any other Nurse Joy, other than her outfit, is her skin color, which is tanner.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I have a theory onto why she's still skinny looking, but we'll get to that when we see her flashback.
So they decide that... Okay, they have a reason for wanting to follow this Nurse Joy around. What was it?
Tracy literally just wants to.
I think that's it.
Because Nurse Joy tells them that because Misty says, "Oh, do you have a clinic here on the island?" And Tracy's like, no, I bet she doesn't. You probably rowboat from island to island, don't you? And she says, that's right, Tracy. How the fuck did you guess that?
It's almost like you live on these islands, Tracy.
So, they're all impressed by the fact that she's, like, goes around, saving wild Pokemon. And then she tells her story of how she found this, like, little tiny Magikarp and how she raised it in her aquarium.
Because it was hurt.
Because it was hurt. And then she released it. And ever since then, she always said she would,
because it saves her when
because
she
it saves
falls
her
off a boat
when
one
she
day.
falls off a boat. And this boat, this is where we're getting to my theory. This boat is fully
populated with other Nurse Joys.
The Nurse Joys, I think, are a recently freed clone slave race. And in that flashback, they had probably just overtaken their corporate masters and, like, took the boat for themselves. So they're out on a celebratory ride when this little tiny Nurse Joy clone falls into the boat, and then the giant Magikarp saves her. But yeah, and so she's still skinny as fuck, because that is how the Jennies, or the Joys, and Jennies probably, are modified. They will stay that body shape. They might be able to strengthen their muscles, sure.
So they're just super dense.
They are super dense.
They are super dense humans.
This Joy is probably 1,000 pounds by the time we see her.
But she's so skinny, it's all dense, it's all contained.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. So that's why they don't draw her hulking.
So we go through the, like, half of this episode, the animation budget kind of runs out, and
it's a montage. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they show montages of the Nurse Joy, like,
with yet again another Pikachu's jukebox.
Yeah,
song.
She's like healing. She's like gonna give a needle shot to an Onyx, and I that made me intrigued. I want to know how that worked. Can you give a shot to an Onyx, or do you have to, like, put it in between its, like, crevices?
Probably that, but also the needle might be like a special synthetic diamond or something
that can pierce an Onyx's hide.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, but I mean, whatever.
But I think the only thing that, like, actively helps Joy in that montage is Ash using his Bulbasaur for her to help cure Mankey. Because everything else is just like Ash, like, falling off the Onyx. Or
they don't do anything.
They're just there to help Joy.
And considering she's such a superhuman, I think she can handle whatever comes her way anyway.
So then they go out into the ocean following Joy, but then they
can't
catch up
find
with her.
Yeah.
Because she's been outpacing them constantly.
Because she probably doesn't give a fuck that she's being followed. She like just is going about her day, and they're like, "Oh, we want to come with you." And she's like, "All right, if you can keep up." And
sure.
I'm not going to slow
down.
down.
Yeah, sure. Like, she's happy. Like, she shows happiness, but she doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, why should she? They're not helping her in any way.
So
she's doing fine.
They come up to her canoe, but she's not there. Where could she be? Oh no, maybe a Gyarados overturned their boat.
Tracy says the word Gyarados very odd. Gyarados!
Gyarados!
I was like, Tracy, every time you talk, I want to punch you.
So then they start getting worried maybe they'll be flipped over by a Gyarados when all of a sudden they see something pink. They're like, oh, hey, might be Chansey. Who knows? No, it's Jigglypuff.
And they're like, oh my god, swim away, which this is important because they paddle, presumably, very far away, but they just happen to come across Nurse Joy.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm fine.
I probably just drifted, you know.
It's whatever.
Chansey, can you go get the kayak?
You drifted
a mile
so far away. Jesus.
Well, I was helping a cloister that's clearly a cloister and not a shelter. Because they go underwater to see how you treat underwater Pokemon.
Yep. And she's like, this is the cloister, and it's a shelter. And I'm like...
Well, see, she did say I treated a cloister, so maybe now they're just treating the offspring.
The shelter? It's possible, I guess.
But they don't make that... They don't say that.
No.
So that's why we're making fun of it.
Yes. As we should. Also, Ash almost drowns for like the 6th time in this show.
Because this dugong is just, wants to have some fun, you know?
Yep.
It's like, oh, hey, a person.
Yep. So Ash almost drowns because he gets by a dugong. That would have been a very horrible way to go.
And so Tracy... Oh, and they have the fucking inner monologues that they have while they're underwater.
Yeah.
Tracy's like, wow, Nurse Joy sure cares a lot about Pokemon.
She's a Nurse Joy, of course.
And then Ash is drowning. And then, while Nurse Joy sees Ash drowning, all she says is, "Oh no!" Commercial break.
Commercial break, come back.
They're in a cabin.
She's already saved Ash. God forbid we show anything happening.
Man, it's too bad we had to kill that dugong. It just loves playing with people.
Nurse Joy, it's a little morbid for you to be saying that, though, while you're eating it. Well, we can't let it go to waste.
Hey, waste not, what not. I mean, all that blubber would probably be pretty tasty.
Actually, yeah, it probably would be.
Oh, we just talked about eating seals. Dugongs, though. Oh, well.
So then Nurse Joy tells... I think this is actually when she tells them the story of how she became a Nurse Joy.
That's when, yeah.
Yeah. So she goes out and she's like, well, I gotta go care for these bunch of seal. And then, like, it starts to storm a little bit. And Tracey's like, no, Nurse Joy, you know when it starts to get windy like this on an island, it could be a hurricane. I'm gonna make fun
and
of
Missy says,
every
hurricane.
Tracey's, no, a hurricane. Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Hurricane. I'm gonna make fun of him every time he says something shitty. Because I expect more out of this voice actor. I actually went out of my way to look up other stuff he's done.
Yeah.
He's done like he's done a couple like Marvel projects, like in an Iron Man show.
Ooh, nice.
And like he does fine in other stuff. Like this is not a bad voice actor.
He just doesn't.
So what is up with this
Tracey?
guy? Yeah. Like even with Giovanni, his voice performance with Giovanni is good.
Yeah.
Like, you can hardly even tell it's the same guy.
You can. I didn't know that until you straight up told me that they were the same guy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand why is he so bad with Tracey? I don't understand. So I mean, feel justified in making fun of him every time he says something weird.
Look at Tracey's like character design though,
and his personality.
You got a green T-shirt, you got red shorts and a red hairband, and then some dopey haircut. You got nothing from him.
I know.
You get nothing from him, like profile wise, and then his personality, his lines.
I'm a Pokemon watcher. Okay.
What can you do with that?
Yeah, like. The people who wrote in this character set themselves up for failure because they didn't give him anything to do.
So his voice fits him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's probably not the voice actor. What's the voice actor's name?
Ted Lewis.
Ted Lewis.
Again, actually a very decent voice actor. But yeah, they gave this voice actor nothing to go off of. He's got a bland personality. His lines are always either super obvious or just super vague. And he just, like, what's Tracey like, aside from sketching things? Like, what are his dreams? He wants to meet Professor Oak?
Yeah.
Okay. Go meet Professor Oak. He's not that hard to find, really.
Just go to Kanto.
Just go to Pallet Town. It's not that far away. Get a blimp. Like, he's just a nothing character. He's a nothing character in a season that's full of nothing episodes.
Yeah.
So it just adds nothing to the show.
But then Tracey at least has the drive in this episode, because maybe Tracey has like a little bit of a libido.
Because he wants to go help
Joy when clearly she doesn't need their help.
In fact, if anything, they get in her way because they almost drowned in the storm, which Tracey calls a hurricane, but obviously it was just like a 30-second storm.
Yeah, it's a storm.
Yeah, come on. This show doesn't know what the fuck storms are.
Or hurricanes.
Or hurricanes.
They could have just gone on their way and been like, well, Nurse Joy, it's really nice to meet you. Let's go. Oh, you know where the next gym is? Great. We'll go there.
Dedicating an entire episode to this Nurse Joy was dumb because...
They just got in her way.
Yeah, they just got in her way. They didn't learn
one
anything.
helpful thing.
Yeah.
One helpful thing for her.
Which was what?
The Bulbasaur...
I think Nurse Joy could have handled that herself.
She could have, but it was...
I mean...
It's the one thing I'm going to give him credit for.
Alright, so then Team Rocket comes in, and thank fucking God, because nothing was happening in this episode.
Let's talk about how they got in her way, though, for the storm. Because they're
catching up with her. And she's doing fine, just rowing, minding her business. They're catching up with her on the kayaks or whatever.
And then they get flipped over.
And by a big wave. And then they almost drown.
Like, hey, just use your water Pokemon, go to that island, and I'll meet you there.
Which they do. And then they're like, wow, we did nothing. We should have just let you do your thing, Nurse Joy.
And then she kills Misty. Says, yep, that's right.
Yep, so Misty's out of the episode. And then Team Rocket comes in, they throw a net over everybody.
Because it was Meowth's secret weapon.
Yeah.
A net.
A net.
Well, it was a Magikarp torpedo net, so that's new.
That's cool. So they're stuck under the net, and then we get this really weird moment where Nurse Joy is like crying over the sickened seals.
I wish something would happen to help save the seals.
It's like, why are you putting so much emphasis on these seals now?
The seals!
You mentioned them once for the first time, and not again since then.
Well, this is what Seal does, Forrest. This is what Seal does.
I know!
If it's mentioned once, it's going to take away the rest of the arc.
It hijacks the arc every time
It's the Misty Mermaid all over again.
It's stupid. So then she's like crying over the seal, and I'm like, okay, you're super strong. Why not can you not break the net
she
yourself?
tries to, but...
She does, but I think it's weird that she's that strong. But she can't...
Why can't she just lift the net?
From or
the
lift
sand?
it, yeah. I don't... There's no consistency.
So her tears summon her giant Magikarp friend.
It's weird, but yeah.
And the Magikarp starts tackling the submarine Magikarp, but it can't do anything because it's a fucking submarine Magikarp.
And it's a regular Magikarp.
So then her tears evolve the Magikarp.
And now it's a Gyarados.
It's a Gyarados. Which are you...
And Tracey says, it evolved into Gyarados right in front of us. Thank you, Tracey.
No, Tracey.
Oh my god.
It submerged itself, swam a mile away, evolved into Gyarados there, and then came back. That's what happened, Tracey. Clearly, you should be using your Pokemon Watcher eyes.
Thank God Tracey is in this show, keeping us informed about what happens. I'm sorry, I know I've been writing on Tracey a lot this episode, but this character is useless.
He deserves it.
His character is useless.
Let's talk about the Gyarados.
Let's talk about the Gyarados.
Are you a little disappointed that the Gyarados isn't a fucking giant Gyarados?
Yeah.
The way the Magikarp
It was like a regular sized Gyarados.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a huge fucking Gyarados.
Like 100-foot long Gyarados.
Yeah, but no, it's just a regular sized Gyarados. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Alright. So,
at least it's got pretty good special attack. It's been eating calcium.
Yeah, that's true. So it knocks away Team Rocket and then lifts the net off of the trapped trainers.
It doesn't lift the net up because it's about to attack them. Oh no! And then
Phase of White, because they all die. No, just kidding. I mean, that does happen, but
it just lifts.
It just
the net
lifts
over.
net because they at least had a funny reaction to it, like seemingly attacking them. They like do that thing where they fall over. I love that. When something super underwhelming or
something super overwhelming ends up being nothing.
Nothing, yeah. They do that fall over thing that you only see in anime. I love it.
Plank.
I love that. Yeah.
So it turns out this Gyarados kept its personality from when it was Magikarp.
Yeah.
Ash, Charizard.
I guess maybe for some Pokemon that happens, for some it doesn't. It's like when little
but
kids
for Magikarp to Gyarados of all things, where the Pokédex specifically says its personality changes.
I know. Anyway, I have nothing else for this. Like, what? That's the end of the episode. Like, nothing else happens in it. So, like, this episode wasn't painful. This didn't make me angry, in spite of me, like, cussing out Tracey. Like, nothing about it made me angry, but nothing happens
How
in it.
did Nurse Joy not know about Team Rocket?
I don't know.
I mean, because Team Rocket is wanted criminals and terrorists. But when they introduce themselves,
She thinks that they're her... No, that was Danny who thought they were friends. But, yeah, she doesn't know who they are. Well, maybe they haven't revealed themselves enough on the Orange Islands yet for them to know who they are.
I also said... Yeah, and then this Nurse Joy tells them about the second batch. The Navel Island.
And that was it.
Place.
And that's the end of the episode.
I gave it 2 Voltorbs.
I did too. Because it didn't make me mad. And it wasn't, like, hurting me to watch it. Like, it was...
It's just a little underwhelming.
It was super underwhelming because no one has an arc in it. No one changes from this experience. They're not even, like, the Ash and Crew are not needed in the story at all. If anything, this would have been stronger if they had just made a side episode about a Nurse Joy and her Magikarp friend, and then she evolves it because, like, she loves it.
And it's a Magikarp friend.
And it's her Magikarp friend. Like, that would have been a better story. Like, Ash, Tracey, and Misty were not useful in this episode at all. They just got in the way.
What would have been funny is if like we come from the main perspective of Nurse Joy and her Magikarp, and then on their travels they end up rescuing Ash, Tracey, and Misty.
Yeah.
They're not seen until like the last 5 minutes of the show.
Until the last act, and like they saved them from Team Rocket or something.
Yeah.
That actually would have been funny. That would have been cool. That would have been a really cool idea for an episode.
Damn.
We should be writing the Pokemon anime.
We should be writing the Pokemon anime.
Yeah. You got anything else for this one? I didn't hate it, but there was nothing about it to.
It might be on my top 10 nothings of an episode.
Yeah. This was a nothing of an episode. There wasn't much world building or anything. The only reason why I'm not giving it like less than a 2 is because like it's not painful. Like that's the only thing going for it.
It's not.
It's just not painful.
The most painful thing is Tracey.
Yeah. And the fact that like the Seal and the Magikarp kind of hijack the plot a couple times each. Like suddenly
the
we care about
Magikarp's
them.
allowed to.
The Magikarp's allowed to at least. Yeah, like at least the Magikarp is mentioned throughout the episode a little bit. The Seal, like, I don't give a fuck about them. Why were they suddenly part of the like main motivation for the plot? That
I don't know.
They were mentioned once. Next episode. All right, Nick. The last episode for this podcast.
9 to 5.
Navel Maneuvers. By the way, they used the wrong spelling of the word navel for this episode title.
How do you spell navel?
Naval. They spelled it like your belly button.
Well, no.
These are belly button maneuvers.
No force. This is Navel Island. It's a different spelling of navel. This is that's
so
how they
belly
spell.
button island?
Yeah.
Why is it belly button island?
Because it has a mountain that comes out like an Audi belly button.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. I didn't name it though. I'm just saying that's what they're calling it.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
They probably spelled it wrong.
I think they did.
Yeah.
They just didn't know any better. They're like navel, Navel. Well, my spell check didn't
correct
that,
it, so yeah.
It's gotta be it.
And Clippy's not saying, oh, we might be meaning the other navel, so yeah. Clippy was around then, right?
Yeah.
99?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was, because he was... anyway,
back to Pokemon.
They get to Navel Island, and they're like, all right, well, let's go find this gym.
And then it's like abandoned, this entire island. There was a village, but no one's there. We don't really get an answer about that. Yeah, I guess. I'm guessing this guy who comes up to meet them, Danny, whoever the fuck he is.
Danny.
Probably just killed them all or something and hid the bodies under the beach or ate them. I don't know. So they go up and they're like, I don't see any island here. And then Danny shows up on like a wave board. And he's like, oh yeah, you came to the right island. I'm Danny. Nice to meet you.
And they're like, oh, he must be taking the gym challenge too. And
I never said that, but sure.
They just assume it. So they get to the gym, and Danny's like, for this one you have to climb the mountain without using your Pokemon.
Oh no, there's a sign.
There's a sign, that's right.
Because Danny's also just hanging back, and he's like, yeah. If they can't read, then they can't win the gym battle. They can't win the gym badge.
So for this gym, they have to climb the mountain without using the Pokemon, which is...
Well, Ash has to climb the mountain without using Pokemon.
Yeah, because
there is a
Misty and Tracey can just ride the trolley car up there. Not trolley, cable car.
Ash is being really rude to Tracey. Well, maybe because it's Tracey. But he's like, Tracey's like going up to read the sign. It's like, so what does it say, Tracey? Do we take the cable car up there? No, actually. You know what? It probably was that, yeah, you can take the cable car up there. Because Ash was being a Tracey's like, you know what? No, you have to climb.
Without using your Pokemon. And Danny's like, yeah, we'll go with this.
Yeah, sure.
This sounds fun. So the challenge is that the trainer who is challenging the gym leader has to climb the mountain without using his Pokemon. Which, what does that have to do with Pokemon training then? A. B. That's really mean to people who are like really old or really young or fat or just not able to climb a fucking mountain. So if you're not a mountain climber, you can't do this gym. You can't complete
No, you can't. No.
Island.
This island discriminates.
I can see that.
Ash starts climbing with Danny. Like, Danny's been kind of hitting on Misty. Like, saying, oh, well, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And Misty's, like, fucking in love with it.
I know.
And it's really fucking weird, because Danny is clearly at least 20.
Yeah, but Japan is a little bit more okay with that than the United States is. With like the age of consent is much lower there.
Or like the manners or something. Okay, well,
I mean that's just a thing. It's weird to us, but for them it's fine.
And Ash is like jealous.
Yeah.
Like, who's this Danny? Huh. He does that sound effect. I wrote it down. Huh. Huh. And then Tracey just assumes he's a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah.
So they go up.
Climb the mountain.
Ash falls and is about to die when he almost sends out Bulbasaur. And Danny's like, "No, Ash! You can't." And then Ash is like, "He's right, I'll be disqualified." So then, and I'd rather die than be disqualified.
I mean, if you're gonna almost die and you need to send out a Pokemon, just climb the mountain again. It's not,
just start from the bottom.
It looks like you
give
can
yourself
do it
a couple hours.
Yeah, it looks like you can do it in about a half an hour. So like, just chill, man. It's not that big of a deal. It's your second time climbing a mountain, so.
And it's only your second gym too, so.
It's okay to take your time. It's not like you're in a hurry for anything else. Yeah, come on.
So they keep going up because Ash corrected himself, and then Team Rocket shows up in a balloon.
Yeah.
They send a suction dart out on Pikachu, and then they do their motto. But then they cut away to Ash and Danny while they're doing their motto. You can hear them
in the background. Yeah, that was funny.
And Danny's like, "Who are these guys?" "Oh, it's Team Rocket." It's like, huh.
Weird friends of yours. And he just takes a suction cup off of Pikachu.
And Team Rocket's like been fishing, like, by the way, like cooking fish that they caught while Meowth is holding the fishing rod, which I just thought was a nice little aesthetic for them. So they try to send out the dart again, but then Danny just gives him a boulder to suction onto, and because Meowth doesn't know how fishing works or physics, he just keeps pulling, and then the rock blows a hole in their balloon, and they blast off?
Sort of.
They don't.
They do that thing where they blast off once earlier in the beginning because they're going to be back, and it's going to be...
Again, it's how they get their second appearance.
They get to the top of the mountain, and Danny's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm the gym leader." And
Tracey figured it out because no one else was up there.
Yep. When we watched this together, I wrote down one arc because you say, "Have you guessed who Danny is yet?" to me, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, he's the gym leader. You have to be a fucking idiot to not get that." And then you're like, "Oh, so are Ash and Tracey?" Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That makes sense. Danny explains how his gym works. By the way, let's talk about Danny for a second, because I really like this voice actor.
Yeah, this Dan... I don't know why I'm saying this Danny. Other Danny.
As opposed to the other Danny.
Danny!
Danny's a good voice actor.
You know what? Danny's voice could have probably been Tracey's voice.
Yeah, that would have worked much better. This guy, I looked him up too. His name is Jim Malone.
Jim Malone, that sounds familiar.
It shouldn't, because he's done like 2 other things.
Never mind.
Ever. And I think one of them was also Pokemon related. And then the other thing was some random like anime I've never heard of.
Huh.
But he's a very good voice actor. He sounds like Rob Paulson, who does the voice of Yakko Warner and Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
Raphael's cool.
That's who he sounds like. So I enjoyed him. But he also was the voice actor director, I'm assuming, for the dub for a couple episodes. Like specifically for the first 2 episodes of the show, Pokemon I Choose You and Pokemon Emergency. Both of which, I mean, aside from the fact that Pokemon Emergency was a piece of shit otherwise, they both had very good voice acting, which I thought was interesting.
Huh. Well,
I wish this guy was in it more, yeah. He's a good voice actor, but he doesn't do anything.
He just wants to give jobs to all the other people.
Yeah, I'm good for him, I guess.
So, yeah, by the way, what's the fucking point of the mountain? That should be trial 1 right there.
Yeah.
Hey, did you use a Pokemon? Great, you passed. Oh, you did? Well, you failed. But hey, there's 2 other things you can do to make up for that.
Yeah, exactly. So the next part of the trial is
freezing a geyser.
A hot geyser with your Pokemon. And he uses a Nidoqueen with Ice Beam, and Ash uses Lapras with Ice Beam.
Which is, I guess it's a good fucking thing he has a Lapras.
Yeah. Because what would you do if you didn't have any Pokemon with Ice Beam? Like, what if you never came across an Ice-type Pokemon or that TM?
I think the only time I have an ice move in my arsenal is in Kanto and Johto. Because everywhere else, my water Pokemon know, like, not a nice move.
Yeah.
So I would have been screwed.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, Kanto and Johto. I would have been fine.
In Johto, I would have been screwed because Ice Beam is a harder move in Johto to get a hold of.
Oh, and my Feraligatr would have been ice punching the geyser. Yeah. That would have been awkward.
That would be weird. You definitely would have lost. It is super specific. It's a weird challenge. I guess Nidoqueen makes sense as a choice, though, because since it doesn't have stat from Ice Beam, presumably it'd be harder for it to accomplish tasks. So as long as you have an Ice-type Pokemon, you should be able to win.
So Lapras just fucking sucks balls?
Yeah, I guess, because it loses the challenge.
That's the sound Lapras makes when it uses Ice Beam.
It is. It's very stupid. I also wrote down that the ice sculptures that they make of the geysers look very phallic.
They do.
Because they do.
They're long tubes, and you can only do so much from that.
Yep.
At first.
So Ash loses the first challenge.
It's convenient though that Lapras finished ice beaming that geyser.
Yeah.
What if they just thought, oh, well, we lost, so Lapras, you could stop. No, I don't need you to use that guy. Okay, Nidoqueen finished the geyser, I guess. I don't know. It would have been awkward if what I'm saying is Lapras stopped when it lost.
But it didn't.
Yeah.
So the next part of the challenge is they have to carve their ice logs into a sled. Using their Pokemon.
Which is bull.
That's so yeah. It's such a bizarre.
How long would that actually take realistically?
A long time. Like, not that I'm an ice sculpture expert, but
you can't have that many gym battle. You can't have a gym battle be that, because what if you have a busy day and you have a bunch of like competitors coming in?
Yeah. Or what if like the person who is using, like, what if they have Pokemon that can't make ice sculptures? Like, what if it's someone who has like a bunch of coughing? Maybe they're still. Why does
someone have a bunch of coughing?
Maybe they're still a good trainer, but they just have a bunch of coughing. What would they do? Are they supposed to just like breathe poison gas on it until it magically melts the ice into the shape you want?
I mean, that's how Charizard's flamethrower fucking works.
By magic, yeah.
Because you choose 3 Pokemon to send out. Danny sends out like Nidoqueen, Machoke, and Scyther, and then Ash uses his Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and
Bulbasaur, Pikachu.
And then
Charizard.
And Tracey, along with Misty, says, "Oh, not Charizard."
Tracy has no experience with Charizard.
Tracy doesn't know what the Charizard does.
Yeah, what is Tracy's deal? Shut up, Tracy. You're useless.
You don't know anything. This is all from secondhand experience.
Until you do something that is pertinent to anything, Tracy, I'm not talking about you again.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm curious.
This is
keep up that bet.
This is a challenge I'm gonna give myself. Until Tracy does something that means anything,
that is relevant to the plot,
or story in any way, I'm not talking about him.
Okay, but I'm gonna keep talking about him.
Go for it.
Okay, good.
Go for it.
Okay, well, I don't have anything to say now, but when he
did something else,
he already did his most memorable stuff for the episode.
Yeah,
I don't have any more notes about him
because he doesn't do anything else. He barely did anything as it was.
Charizard's slacking off, and by some miracle, when Ash provokes Charizard into helping, Charizard's flame fucking melts the sled
into a perfect sled. Even Danny is like, "Well, you won.
You won.
Is my challenge bullshit? Is my life bullshit?"
Machoke, Scyther, what am I? I've been hitting on this 13-year-old girl.
My life is a lie.
And my challenges are arbitrarily too hard. So then the next phase is you have to race down the mountain
in the sled
that you made.
And I don't know what the Pokemon they choose really have to do with anything. Like, he chooses an Electrode and a couple
Geodude and the Scyther.
I don't know why.
The Scyther's for stealing, the Geodude and the Electrode are for balance and for weight.
And I guess because Electrode's a fast Pokemon, it can like use its magnetism magic bullshit to make it go faster, maybe?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's just this centrifugal force.
Sure.
Just helps it go down.
It feels very arbitrary. So they're going down the mountain.
And Ash swaps Charizard out for Squirtle.
So going down the mountain, and then Danny is clearly winning, but then he falls into a hole that
made by Team Rocket.
Because they got him in the episode again. And then Ash is like, "Oh, hey, are you okay?" He gets out of this like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then he's like in the hole, and they're like, "Yeah, we're all right, but your friends are really weird. They made this really strange trap."
They're really smart and really resourceful that they're able to do this.
Yeah, I love how blasé he is about it. It was really funny.
Danny just doesn't give a fuck.
Danny,
like, okay.
Danny is a great character of the day.
He just rolls with the hits.
Yeah, I love this character.
A little bit of a creep, but otherwise,
yeah, he's funny.
So then they start throwing snowball. They escape from the hole because they just do.
It's just because they can.
And they start throwing snowballs at Team Rocket, and then Team Rocket's like, "Wait, no, we're gonna throw snowballs back at you," and then they catapult Electrode into their balloon.
It explodes
them, and then Team Rocket blasts off for real this time.
Woo! Didn't that add a lot to the story, folks?
Woo!
It didn't. Well, tough shit. That's what Team Rocket does.
Well, no,
it's been 90 episodes. You should know.
It helped Ash win.
Pretty much, yeah.
So interference,
because they get back into the sleds and they go again,
and they start side by side rather than like 50 feet apart, as they should have.
So Ash actually has a better chance of winning now, and he does win, but Danny gains a lot of distance on him again, and then Ash
veers
off
out of the side of the road, goes through bushes, and Danny's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," and then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere,
he just catapults himself over like the trees and shit, and like
going the opposite direction he was going in.
Yeah, facing the opposite way, and then like he's spinning around, and like he ends up most of the sled melts for some reason, even though no water comes off of it, and like he wins, and it's purely by luck.
And Danny's again like, "Huh,
maybe my talent is bullshit. You know, I should really stop being a gym leader here.
I should just have battles.
Let's just do battles from now on. Does that sound good, Machoke? I thought it would."
Machoke. Ash wins the Sea Ruby badge, which is really more like a Sea Peridot badge or a Sea Emerald badge.
You're giving this way too much.
Because it's not a ruby. It's green.
Yeah. And then that's the end of the episode.
And then then they say goodbye, bye, and they are swimming on Lapras and upper sleeves.
So what'd you think of that episode overall?
I gave it this many full torbs. I gave it 3 full torbs.
You gave 3 full torbs.
Yeah, because as much of a bullshit gym battle it is, it's still an interesting gym battle.
It was, yeah. It was very interesting. That's one thing I like about the Orange Islands is that because they're not just gym battles, they're like gym
hey, can you use your Pokemon?
Yeah, in these very interesting ways. It's a little oddly specific, the trials that they have, but they're still interesting and fun.
And compared to the last Gym Leaders challenge, which was fucking bullshit. shoot water,
discs,
shoot
and then
discs,
race.
And then race. No, that's
although this
dumb.
one was another race, but still.
It was another race, but like, build your fucking sled.
Yeah.
Climb a mountain without using your Pokemon. Like, it's at least interesting.
It is. However, that being said, I gave this one 2.5 Voltorbs instead of 3 because I would have liked it a lot more if Ash had won the race and the sled building parts of the competition on more than just luck.
Fucking luck.
Like, just nothing but luck.
Would it be weird, though, that if Ash won it through intellect? Because Ash doesn't win.
He does not win in intellect.
Idiot savant.
But it would be nicer if, like, he used his Pokemon a little bit more in the winning, at least.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the race part. Like, it's just, he wins because really the script just says he does. Like, the story has to have him win.
We can't watch this episode again.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing helped him win of himself other than magic both times. So
if you lost 2 out of the 3 challenges, would you be able to just take the cabbie car back up, or would you be forced to climb the mountain again?
I don't know.
Also, why does he say he's part of the Orange Crew and is an Orange Island gym leader? Like, can't he? Because isn't the Orange Crew specifically gym leaders?
Yeah.
So why?
I would think. I don't know.
Is the Orange Crew only like 4 gym leaders, and then everyone else in the Orange Islands is just not in that crew? Because that's dumb. I don't need a click in your gym leader discussion. Or maybe he specifically said, "I'm the Navel Island gym leader." That would give it more
credence.
More credence. I don't know.
I enjoyed Danny. I thought he was fun. He was a good character of the day.
Way better than the fucking last gym leader. And
Yeah.
her fucking brother. Oh my god. I forgot him and now I remembered it. God. Pokemon of the day?
Pokemon of the day. Between 1 and 329.
304.
304. Oh, yes!
What?
This week's Pokemon of the day is Chandelure.
Oh, hell yeah!
I love Chandelure.
Okay, yeah, no. This is a good.
Yes!
This is a good week. This is a good week.
This is one of my favorite Pokemon. I mean, I love Ghost type Pokemon in general, but Chandelure is amazing.
Chandelure always gets flack for being an inanimate object, but oh my,
it's a ghost.
It's a ghost. It possesses things.
Yeah, come on. This is a great Pokemon. Oh my gosh.
Chandelure, the chandelier,
the chandelier ghost fire thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and I love it. It still has one of the highest special attack out of all Pokemon.
145. That
145.
Not a mega.
Amazing.
Not a legendary. That's just a
It's just attack. It's just a special attack set, not an alternate form. It's just its natural special attack. Even its like pre-evolution Lampent has a high enough special attack that I made a Lampent, like a bulky Lampent with like fire spin stuff, but like its special attack stat. If I wanted to decide to just use it as a Lampent without any investment in special attack EVs, I would still be able to use it because it's just so much special attack.
Jeez.
It's just so good. The one I use the most right now, I want to make more, but the one I have right now, it has Flamethrower, of course. It has Shadow Ball for that extra stab, Energy Ball for coverage, and in this generation I'm using it with the with Z Grass, the Grassium Z.
Ooh.
So that way, if you get any rock types, then they're like, haha, I'm a rock type. Fuck you, Bloom Doom, motherfucker. Just destroys it. And Curse, just in case like I'm up against something that's like super bulky, you'd be like, alright, fuck you, I'm cursing you.
Okay, mine's almost the same. It's Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, but then Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah.
Just so I can burn some motherfuckers.
That's good. See,
What ability does it have?
mine has Flash Fire, but
Mine has Flash Fire.
I ironically want Flame Body on it because I find that so useful because it's not exactly a glass cannon. So if something is hanging around for a little bit longer than you want, it can flame body hit your flame body and burn itself.
But
and then
if
its next attacks are lower.
If it's hit by a super effective hit, it's gonna probably die.
No, well, Chandelure is not. We've discussed this before. Chandelure is not that like frail. 90 and 90 are its base defense and special
But its
defense.
HP is only 60 though.
Yeah, but like if you did a max HP, max special attack Chandelure, its defensive stats are gonna still be high enough naturally that's gonna be able to take hits. Okay.
That's true. Okay. I'll give you that.
And its speed is high enough that if you decide you want to do like a choice, either Specs or Scarf Chandelure instead, like you can do that with a base 80 speed.
But couldn't you argue that like then just an immunity to fire is going to be useful for a bulky set because
that's true too.
Immunity to fire is always useful.
I mean, like whichever one, they're both, in my opinion, they're both good abilities. So whichever one you want to do is still going to be good. Or if you want to do its hidden ability, Infiltrator.
That is awesome.
That's also
That's
good.
an option.
Also, and I didn't know this, I thought Infiltrator only applied to Substitute, but it also applies to Light Screen and Reflect.
Yeah.
I never knew that! I never knew it applied to Light Screen and Reflect.
It doesn't apply to Protect, though. Right?
No, it doesn't apply to Protect. That would be way overpowered. It also applies to Safeguard and for this generation, Aurora Veil.
Ooh, okay.
So that's even better. Like, that is a really good ability for a Pokemon that's just a freaking cannon, yes. Like, haha, you are not safe.
I nicknamed mine Hiroshima.
That's so bad.
Yeah. It's nuclear fire.
I just named mine Lumiere after the character from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, but it's a candle. Of course you're gonna name it Lumiere.
Yeah.
That's like naming
well, at least I didn't name mine after a cataclysmic, horrifying event that
where
happened
many
in Japan.
people died that's fueled by fire. Yeah, it fits.
That's so bad.
Naming it Lumiere is like naming a chestnut nutcase or Chester. It's like naming it a chestnut Chester. I named mine nutcase.
That's actually pretty funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we've been over this. I'm not the best at nicknaming my Pokemon. It's fine. It's a thing. I still didn't name mine Hiroshima, which is just insensitive.
I love its nickname. I'm sorry. It's been 50 years.
70.
Thank you for proving my point further. It's been 70 years.
Oh man. Yeah. So have you ever used Chandelure? We both agree that's a great Pokemon. It's an awesome Pokemon competitively because like it's just a freaking cannon.
Yeah.
Like I think it's an underused, but it can hold its own and overused just fine, I think.
Like yeah, you have options to handle like the grass Pokemon that are in overuse and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think it's still viable for overused.
You were about to ask me something.
But have you ever used it in game? Specifically, I think Generation 5.
In game, as in like through my playthrough of it.
Through your playthrough.
I always get them too late.
Yeah.
Because like I'm always forming my team, and I think the next time I play Generation 5, which I don't know, I've been putting that off because like the starters.
Just pick a starter, put in the PC, let it rot, and then just like use whatever other.
Yeah, but then I don't get any good Pokemon until like route, like what, 2 if you're playing Black and White 2, and then for fucking ever until the original Black and White.
Yeah. Well, you get Darumaka not super late in the game.
Yeah, it's after the third badge.
Is that the third? Yeah, it is the third. I've used Chandelure I think once in a Generation 5 playthrough, and it fucking wrecks predictably because it's such a high special attacker.
Base 145.
Base 145. Like, without any investment in IVs or EVs, it's a 265 special attack stat at level 100. That's a hindering special attack nature, and
Jesus.
And a freaking like no IVs or EVs in special attack.
My Hiroshima is timid, and its special attack is 389.
Yeah, like it's incredible. It's such a good Pokemon. It's probably one of my 10 favorite Pokemon.
And let's just talk about like its fucking looks.
Yeah, and its cry. Its cry is like, it's such a cool cry. It's an awesomely designed ghost type Pokemon.
It's shiny. It's just like straight up
yes,
fire.
It's red fire. It's great.
In Pokken Tournament, it's a fighter in Pokken Tournament. A Chandelure off like punching things, and it's really cute in that. It's like it's because it just giggles and stuff. Like, don't mind me. I'm just gonna fuck your shit up with far away fire bolts.
Let's see. You could use a Trick Room set with it because it's. If you minimize its speed, it's 76, so that would be usable
on level 50.
Yeah, level 50. That's usable in Trick Room. If you wanted to make it a ass set with like substitute and swagger or something, you can do that. The only thing is like you're not going to see too many bulky sets with Chandelure, and you're not going to see, unless someone's a whack job, you're not going to see many attacking sets, like physical attacking sets.
Behold my base 55 attack.
Even with my maxed out attack, physical attack is still less than my minimized special attack.
Jesus.
So the only sort of bad thing about Chandelure is that when you see it, you kind of know what you're in for.
Yeah.
It's going to hit you with a special attacking move.
It's also just like one of the signature Pokemon of the power creep that Pokemon's had and
since Generation 5.
Since Generation 4, really.
Yeah, but 5 is when it got
5
bad,
is when
right?
it was just got bad.
Yeah.
They're fixing it, though, in 7, because like a lot of the Pokemon in Generation 7 aren't as competitively overpowered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even Decidueye, its base speed is like, what, 80?
Yeah.
70?
Something like that.
70, because the others are 60. I rate Chandelure 3.5 Voltorbs.
I don't do that, but I'm saying it's one of my top 10 favorite Pokemon.
Oh, you know what? I actually changed my mind. I'm Forrest. I'm giving 4 Voltorbs. I'm Forrest.
That's not my voice.
It's my voice.
That's not my voice.
I'm going through second puberty.
No, I'm not.
It hurts a lot. I get night sweats.
My name's Nick. I changed my mind about Aromatisse. I'm giving that Pokemon 3.5 Voltorbs.
No, I'm killing myself! Ah! Great, Forrest. Now I'm dying. Thanks for making me change my mind about Aromatisse.
You're welcome.
See you never, folks. Pokebears is just gonna be with Forrest and the zombified version of me.
I use your head as a puppet and make you talk.
That's rude. I'm a zombie, man. Give me some class.
Give you some glass. Any other thoughts about Chandelure? It's awesome.
It is the caretaker of nightmares and the witness of the last light in the darkness.
Nice. All right. Anything else for this Pokebears episode?
A couple things actually.
Mm-hmm.
Sun and Ultra Moon, as of the time of recording, and a week, as of the time of this recording, will be out in about a month.
Pretty much almost to the day.
Almost to the day. And then as the time of this coming out, I think a week.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm excited for it.
Man.
Are you going to pick Rowlet again for your starter?
I don't want to do the same star, but at the same time, like, I loved having Rowlet as my starter.
Because apparently the story, according to like a magazine that Cerebi has been translating, the story's going to be twice as long.
Really? Oh, that's
Or there's at least twice as much content.
So it's kind of is it going to be kind of like a Kanto Johto sort of thing?
I don't think so. I think it's more like an Alola Ultra Space thing. Like you're going to be in Ultra Space for
like half of it.
Half of it.
Oh, okay. I think I will, honestly. I really love Decidueye. So
I think I will switch it up. I just don't know what to yet, because like Primarina's good.
I liked Primarina. I just played through Moon with Primarina. It's fun.
So think I'll pick. You know what? So I could avoid having a Salazzle again, I'm gonna pick probably Litten.
Litten.
Yeah, because everyone has Decidueye at this point, so I'm gonna be different.
You can be different. Incineroar's a cool Pokemon.
And so there's gonna be at least 400 Pokemon in the Pokedex now instead of only 300.
Because of the new. Wait, are they adding just like
old? They're adding old
Pokemon,
Pokemon to the Pokedex.
Plus like the couple 2 or 3
Ultra Beasts. Yeah. And you can catch legendaries through Ultra Wormholes now.
Yeah.
Like Mewtwo.
Oh, kind of like the old.
Like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, that's cool. I enjoyed that.
And
from that game.
The Rotom Dex is basically Mr. O. All over again. So hey, don't give me that disgruntled face. I love those fucking O powers.
I never used them. I just found the guy.
That's how you get Pokemon to level 100.
Yeah,
you turn on experience to level 3.
I need that because I'm trying to get I'm training legendaries for the first time, and I'm trying to get them to level 100, but it takes so long. So many plays through of the Elite Four.
Are you battling the Game Freak dude every day? Because
no.
he helps.
Oh, who's
and the Battle Buffet. The Battle Buffet is in that first city.
I know the Battle Buffet.
Okay. And then the Game Freak dude is in the second port city. So if you go...
Oh, the one that has the name Raider?
Yeah. So if you go the opposite direction, in one of the office buildings on the second floor is the Game Freak Studios.
See, this is going to be helpful for our listeners, too, who want to level up their Pokemon to level 100.
I mean, it's going to take... I don't level up my regular Pokemon to 100. I just do them to like 70. 50.
I only do them to 50 because that's all I need is those stats. But and with the new mechanic with the move relearner now, you don't need to
wait for them
all. Yeah, just whenever you want.
Boom. And hard skills are real fucking easy to get.
Yeah, they are. You can get 5 a day just from going to eat food.
More than that. You can get like 20 a day if you go to all the different restaurants.
There's more restaurants than just the one?
Which restaurant are you going to?
I'm only going to the one in the with the little like boat buildings.
No, so there's the restaurant there. There's the restaurant where you find the second Kahuna lady with her Probo Pass. There's one where on the third island too. I think, like, where that big city is.
Shoot, I didn't even know that because, man, now that it's just so easy to get the heart skills, which I love, by the way. I'm not complaining about that at all. One of the only things that these games are missing though are move tutors.
Well, that's what it's the first game of this generation.
Yeah,
and
they never have them. Yeah, so I can't wait for the move tutors and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Because like it'll be the actual, hey competitive players, here's the actual game for you.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So yay!
Yay! Soon. All right. Anything else for this podcast?
No. Goodbye forever. I died. Remember.